Tops are done, but CrossFit certainly isn't. And we are on the cusp of what I think is going to be one of the most exciting CrossFit Games seasons in recent memories. Both on the men's field and the women's field, we have got some hotly contested podium positions and a big question mark over who's going to come out of the 2024 season wearing the champion's crown. Let's first think about the men's field. Last year there was this bit of disruption. We went from the Matt Fraser era into the Justin Medeiros era, where he went back to back and then massively fell off the wagon. Jeffrey Adler came first. Possibly Roman should have, but his injury meant that he finished third, and Paddy Vellner, like a beautiful evergreen tree, got second. But looking ahead to the 2024 games, here's the guys who really are in the mix. Adler, Vellner, Roman, Ricky, Brent ? Dallin Pepper, Travis Mayer after a season off. It genuinely could not be more open between these guys. Here's a fun fact for you. Out of those top 4 guys, every single one of them has won a major event. Jeffrey Adler came first in the games. Patrick Vellner came first at Rogue. Roman Korenikov came first in Dubai, and Ricky Gerard has just gone back to back at Wodapoloza. Throw into the mix that Ricky also finished second in Dubai, that Roman finished third in the games, Vellner finished second in the game. All of these guys have got some big finishes behind them. Dallin Pepper, I think, will continue to grow into this position of being a contender for the CrossFit Games. Remember, he finished 7th in Rogue to follow up a really impressive CrossFit Games. The only person who beat him out of that field of guys who are consistently at the top is Travis Mayer. He was 6th at Rogue, and he is a seasoned veteran of the sport. He's just had a whole year off to rehab from a hand injury, and he looks tasty. He looks like he is back. And while probably not going to be someone who finishes on the podium, someone whose results is definitely going to play into the final result. Brent Fikowski as well. In all of the things that he's competed over the last 12 months, he has been right up there at it with some of his finest ever positions. If you're not excited about the men's competition this year, then there is no year that you're going to get excited about it. Notice though that I haven't mentioned Justin Medeiros. Justin Medeiros, who has got 2 fittest on earth titles to his name. He also finished 3rd back in 2020 before Matt Fraser retired. So why am I discounting him? Well, apart from the degree to which he fell off last year, he didn't even end up making the top 10. There's something about Justin's setup which does not inspire me, doesn't fill me with confidence. If you go through those other guys, then I think it's there to be seen why they will continue to be contenders. But Justin training with Ellie Turner, who is not really in that top tier. Justin, who seems to be more interested in pretending that his dog is their new child. I just don't get the same sense with him that he's got the Matt Fraser, do anything, die before losing sort of mentality. Adler has already proven himself to be someone who is quite happy to indulge in the dark arts. Ricky Gerard certainly has proven that he wants to do everything that was in his power to win. Roman has overcome so much and has already come back from an injury. He's training down there at Mayhem. Vellner and Brent just have lasted so long at such a high level. I can't see that Medeiros is going to have the intensity that's required to make that push back up the leaderboard. Wouldn't be surprised to me if he finished in the top 10 again, but I am absolutely not backing him to break into the top 5. Come back to me at the end of the year if I've got that wrong, point and laugh, but there we are. That's my hot take. Justin Medeiros in this stage of life does not seem to me to have the passion, the hunger, or more importantly, the environment to push again for that top spot. But what about the women's field? Well, again, last year, a lovely bit of disruption, brought on in no small part by the fact that Tia-Clair Toomey was off having her baby, but now she's back. We have a new fittest woman on earth, Laura Horvath. She backed that up by beating Tia at Rogue, so we will have a head-to-head that we've already had at times. Laura, back in 2018, I think it was, when she burst onto the scene and she wore the leader's jersey for quite a while, now has the belief that she can beat Tia. But here's what really makes the women's field more interesting. For years and years, that one of the big problems with Tia-Clair Toomey and her dominance was that whenever anybody beat her in a workout, there were not enough women to get between her and them for it to make much of a difference. You might remember Annie Thorisdottir after the Rogue Invitational, I think it was in 2021, encouraging the other athletes. She can be beaten, but we need to work together. Well, now it's not just going to be Laura versus Tia, is it? Because there's a whole host of women who really are podium contenders, really can put their name into the hat. You've got Emma Lawson, who in the last 2 years, when Tia went on to win it and when Laura went on to win it, has worn the leader's jersey on numerous occasions. Now there's something, I don't know, visually about Emma Lawson which doesn't fill me with confidence. She seems small compared to some of the other women, and yet the results speak for themselves. She backed up what she did in the games this year with strong finishes in the years before. And you've got some other contenders too. Alex Gazan, her rise from 2022 to 2023 was remarkable. Underdog Athletics, Justin Kotler, Ricky Garrard. It seems to be an environment, and she seems to be the sort of physical specimen who just can keep on making stride after stride after stride. And who wouldn't back her after that performance in the deadlift at the Rogue Invitational? You've also got Alexis Raptis, who the last 2 years at the Games has been pretty impressive. And last year, when you consider the health condition that she was suffering, struggling with colitis through the whole season, for her to have worn the leader's jersey for so long and to put in so many impressive performances means that she's going to be another one to watch. Now, she's someone actually I would single out to show a difference to Justin Medeiros in her training environment. Alexis trains with Travis Mayer, who is this top tier athlete in his own right. And what happens when I think a top tier woman is training with a top tier man is that they get driven on, like Tia with Matt back in the day. That's not what you've got with Justin and Ellie. You've got Ellie maybe not really up to it and the male being stronger than the female. But with Alexis Raptis and Travis Mayer, you've got someone who is going to push her, who is going to drag her along, drag her through, so I can only see her getting better. Then you've got Gabby McGower, who herself has been slowly but surely chipping away her way up the leaderboard at the Crossfit Games. Let's not forget she is Laura Horvath's training partner, so she knows the level that she needs to be in order to take down Laura and Tia. Chuck into the mix as well, maybe if you want, Ariel Lowen. She's been there or thereabouts the last couple of years. Personally, I don't think she can maintain that, especially with this push from Alex and Emma and Alexis and Gabby and Laura and Tia and maybe Mal. We still don't know whether Mal O'Brien is going to compete this year, but I think if she does, I think she'll be fit enough to be there or thereabouts. One person I haven't even mentioned yet is Emma Carey. Emma Carey, who did decent at the Games last year, she finished 6th at the Rogue and has just won Wodapoloza. If we're talking about people maybe not who can win the Games, but who can definitely disrupt things, she is right there, up there at it. Although one name I am discarding from the women's field is Hayley Adams. Hayley Adams, whenever she's competed, has done a decent job, but there have always been holes in Hayley's sort of overall composition. She's not the total complete package. And it doesn't seem to me like the year off that she's had is going to be a year off filling those gaps. I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh. I've never really fancied Hayley Adams as a true contender for the top. And the 12 months that she's had off, and from what she shared in social media and interviews, doesn't convince me that she's going to come back a better, stronger Hayley. Especially with a field now that I think is stronger than it has been in the last 10 years. So the women's competition, even if it does end up just being Laura versus Tia, it's going to be way more exciting because there are so many women in the mix who can disrupt things and can have an effect on the leaderboard. So, as we're prepping for the Open, most of us not thinking about progressing to quarterfinals, semi-finals or the CrossFit Games, the season is about to start. And for at least those of us who are fans of the sport, this has got to be the best, most exciting start to a season in maybe a decade. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit me up, hit me back, agree, disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, tops are dumb, but CrossFit is not. Peace.